Distinguished members of government, veterans, active duty service members, military leaders, and the families who have sacrificed quietly for this nation. I stand before you not to diminish one family's sacrifice over another, but to bring light to families who have remained too long in the shadows. Families whose loved ones wore the uniform of the United States military, carried the burden of service, came home, and were ultimately lost to wounds the world could not see. These families have a name: White Star families. Most Americans have never heard those words spoken aloud. We are a nation that honors sacrifice. We recognize Gold Star families, and we should. The Gold Star designation represents some of the deepest sacrifices imaginable. Families who lost loved ones in combat or through direct military service deserve every ceremony, every folded flag, every moment of national remembrance we can possibly give them. But there's another battlefield we have not fully acknowledged. A battlefield that follows many veterans home. A battlefield fought in silence. A battlefield inside the human mind. Every year in the United States, approximately 6,000 veterans die by suicide. That equals roughly 17 veterans every single day. 17 families every day entering a grief that often receives no ceremony, no recognition, and too often, no understanding. These are sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends. These were Americans who took an oath to serve this country. Many survived combat only to lose the war after coming home. And the families left behind carry a grief unlike almost any other. Gold Star family members are publicly honored. White Star families often grieve privately, in silence. Sometimes in shame. Not because they should feel shame, but because suicide still carries stigma in our society, even within communities built around strength, resilience, and service. Too many families replay final conversations for years, asking questions that have no answers. Did I miss the signs? Could I have done more? Why didn't they ask for help? But we must understand something clearly. The military trains warriors to endure pain, to suppress weakness, to keep moving forward no matter what. Those qualities save lives in combat. But after combat, those survival instincts can become barriers to asking for help. Invisible wounds are still wounds. Trauma is still trauma. And a veteran lost to suicide is no less a veteran. This is not about politics. This is about recognition. Recognition that these families exist. Recognition that their grief matters. Recognition that losing a veteran to invisible wounds does not erase their service to this nation. Because when a service member comes home carrying a trauma connected to war, and that trauma eventually becomes fatal, the battlefield did not truly end when they stepped off that plane. The war followed them home, and the families left behind deserve to be seen.
We are here for you.
There are organizations fighting every day to support White Star families. The Valor Institute, One Tribe Foundation, TAPS, the Red Star Foundation, Veterans Bridge Home. These organizations understand something important. Grief becomes heavier in silence. Healing begins when people realize they are not alone. Sometimes the most powerful thing another human being can say is, "I understand," or simply, "I'm here." To our elected leaders, there's an opportunity before you, an opportunity not simply to create policy, but to acknowledge sacrifice that has remained invisible for too long. Federal recognition for White Star families would not erase grief, but it would tell families across the country that their loved ones' service mattered, even when the wounds were unseen. It would open doors to greater mental health advocacy, greater funding, greater outreach, greater education, and perhaps most importantly, greater compassion. To our veterans, you are not weak for struggling. You are not weak for asking for help. The burdens you carry are real, and this nation owes you more than applause at sporting events and patriotic slogans once a year. You deserve support before the crisis happens, not after.
You are not alone.
To the families sitting quietly in grief tonight, please hear this clearly. Your loved ones mattered. Their service mattered. Your grief matters. And you are not invisible. The measure of a nation is not only how it honors those lost in battle, it is also how it cares for those who continue fighting after the battle is over. White Star families showed up for this country. It is time for this country to show up for them. My name is Mike Tarmy, brother of Sergeant First Class Richard David Tarmy, United States Army, and I am a White Star brother.